One step ahead of you, stay in motion, keep an open mind. Love is a race run by two. Your emotion, my solitude. If I stop, I could lose my head, so I'm losing you instead.
There's Neil and the guys one step ahead, Split Ends. Welcome to Neil Finn and Nick Seymour from the Mullanes.
Well, it's good to be here again on Channel 9 in Brisbane.
Well, we wouldn't know what to do if you didn't drop in every few months and have a visit. Must be about every 6 months, I suppose, on average.
Yes, it must have been. I've been up here a lot of times. I actually drove up here myself without the help of a record company person this morning, so
Things are tough,
I must know the place well. Things are tough. No, we're just in between record companies. We're in that glorious state of being unsigned.
Is it a comfortable feeling?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's a very, very good feeling.
Waiting for those offers.
That's the only trouble, yeah, we have to pay to get into sort of the Rock Awards parties and things like that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's a drag. But
Fair weather friends everywhere, aren't they?
yep, they're terrible. Once you're not signed, they forget about you.
Yes, that'll be right. Sycophants is the word, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I have to take your word for that one, I'm afraid.
Pronunciation's right. Look, I hate to be predictable, but the first question is, what does the Mullanes mean? Where does that come from?
We just like the sound of the name. It's a name which figures in my dark family past. And I think that they were smugglers in the 18th century in Ireland, and I think they did a few other sort of evil things as well, but we just liked the sound of it, and it had a sort of a mysterious background to it, so we thought, why not?
You don't see it being shortened to the Mulls, do you?
Well, I certainly hope not, but it'd be very popular up this coast, I imagine.
Could be. Look,
The lanes, I think, perhaps.
The lanes.
The lanes, yeah.
Nick, what were you doing? You were a TV cameraman, I know that much, but what have you been doing in the
I wasn't
meantime?
exactly a TV cameraman.
I thought you were serious.
No, I was on that side of the camera. I did a bit of makeup. I mainly worked in the art direction side of television for production for Carson's Law and Sullivan's and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
He was his gaffer.
I was the best boy.
The best boy.
No, I was the team monitor.
I always wonder what a gaffer looked like.
Gaffer. Well, they're sort of a black roll of sort of sticky tape.
What have you been doing musically, though, before joining up with Neil?
Well, I've been in a couple of art school groups in Melbourne that got a degree of popularity in Sydney and Melbourne. One was called Plays with Marionettes and one was called Bang. And enjoying that. You know. Took a lot of my time.
The Mullanes, what are you doing at this stage in your live stuff?
In our live stuff, we're doing a lot of new material, obviously. A lot of stuff we've written since the beginning of the year. Paul and I have worked on most of it. We've actually written our opening number of the show all together in rehearsal, which is a great sign. We're doing about 3 or 4 Split Ends tracks, but only 2 of which are probably very well known to people, but we thought it was only fair to do a couple because people are coming along initially out of interest from that area. It's a really good variety. We're very happy with the way the set's going and everything. The shows that we've done so far, we've done 4 shows and they've all been really enjoyable. And the audiences seem to have enjoyed them too, so...
So you've premiered here, obviously, then?
Yeah, well, the first gig was actually in Byron Bay. The Mullanes thought it'd be a good place to start, you know.
A lot of Irish in Byron Bay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so I heard. You've got, now I must ask you what sort of influence and what sort of style you're doing. Is it a little bit like the old Ends, or is it a little bit like your version of Split Ends when you were leading the band?
Oh, look, there's a little bit of pop, a little bit of funk, a little bit of rock, and a little bit of underground.
Country.
A little bit of country
rock
and
roll.
western. No, there's everything that you... I don't know, it's really hard to put a tag on it, but it's guitar music, and in that sense it's different from Split Ends, because Split Ends was fairly keyboard-oriented. We're a 2-guitar band, and I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. I've always wanted to play with another guitarist. And it's just, I don't know, people will have to see for themselves tonight at the Jet Club or tomorrow night at the Homestead.
But you did mention that the band is all contributing.
Yeah.
Is it to most songs or just to that opening one?
Well, we've only been rehearsing for 4 weeks, and in that period we already came up with 1 full song that the band wrote as a band, which is really a very good sign because it's not an easy thing to do. So I think that'll happen more and more, but the rest of the songs, mostly Paul and myself have been writing. And yeah, we're doing a good long set.
The last time we spoke to you was, let me see, October last year, which was when you and Tim both came up for a talk with us.
That's right.
And you had a few sketchy plans about the future.
Yeah.
With Paul, anyway.
Yeah.
So has it turned out reasonably well for you, as far as you were hoping, the Mullanes?
I'm amazed at how easily it's gone, actually. It's Paul and I were planning to audition and do demos and start the band in January, and we didn't really dream that we would find somebody very quickly, but we found Nick. He was the third bass player we tried out, and Craig.
The laundromat.
And we found Craig. We knew about Craig anyway. We were going to try him out, and he enjoyed the play with us, and we enjoyed playing with him. So within about 3 weeks of Split Ends breaking up, we had another band.
Good.
Which was great. And then Paul and I said, "Okay, you're in the band. See you in a month." And we took off overseas for a month.
And been working ever since. Bit of hard rehearsal and so.
Doing photos, you know, all the things that bands have to do when they start out.
Colour tellies out the windows.
Yeah.
Yes, an American style thing. The hair looks good too. That's a different look for you.
Yeah.
Because you always were the man who stayed away from anything
did.
dramatic in the hair department.
Yeah. Well, how can I explain it adequately without sounding like it's just
Well, it was
a
part of
cheap
your
shot?
part of your apprenticeship, I suppose. You know?
Yeah, I'd never coloured my hair with Split Ends because I figured that as for a band that's known for their hair, changing my hair colour was sort of the least.
Paying your dues, really.
But as soon as the band finished, I thought, well, I'm a new man now, and a new band, new era, new year. I may as well do something radical, so I changed it, and it's just growing out now.
So when do we get some music from you? A single or an album?
There'll be some music towards the end of the year. There'll be a single anyway, definitely before Christmas. We're just trying to lock in a recording deal at the moment, and we're aiming to be recording by about August, September, doing an album. We're looking for the right producer.
Yes, I was going to ask, do you have anybody in mind, or is that too far ahead?
We've got people in mind. We've got two guys that are very close to being able to work with, but it's just a matter of working out the timetables.
Uh-huh.
As with all things, Murphy's Law is uppermost.
Yes, in the recording industry.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm sure it's going to go well. That goes without saying.
At the Jet Club tonight,
Jet
and
Club.
the Homestead tomorrow night.
The good old Homestead.
Yep, we'll be there with bells on.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
Okay.
It's nice to see you again.
See you
Good
next
to see
time.
you too, Tim. Nick.
Nick.
We can't get Tim. Look, what's Tim doing before
No,
we
look,
go?
it's all right. It's a new band. You're excused.
But
okay?
what's Tim doing?
Tim's
I
in-
think that's what it's been. It's been Freudian. I've been wondering what he's been doing.
Tim's in England. He's collaborating with a playwright at the moment. It's a fact. He's just been at the Cannes Film Festival, so you know times are pretty hard for Tim.
Yes, and how's Greta?
Greta's good. She's appearing in some major production at the moment. I'm not sure what it is.
Are they still happy?
Oh, still absolutely blissfully happy.
Leading a nice life, isn't he?
No, he is. Yeah, it's good that he's found love at last.
Well, we've all been waiting for that. Thanks, Nick. Do you have any word to add to that? I mean,
No.
fine. Thank you very much. Nick and Neil, it's good to see you.
See you
Let's
later.
have a